Welcome. Thank you guys so much for joining me. For whatever reason, it paused my broadcast in that first moment. So, my name is Kim. Most of you know me because as of right now, I'm hosting these classes through Facebook Live. But I know a lot of people are sharing them with loved ones that maybe have never met me before. And most of these classes are in the process of getting uploaded onto my YouTube channel so that there's more of a library of different classes for people to explore. So I thought I'd just share a little bit more about myself today. I always take the first 10 minutes or so to do a little bit of a drop-in, a little bit of a check-in, tap in with the theme of the class. So this is intended to be a flow class. So we're going to be moving. We'll be doing standing series, some balancing postures, and maybe even working up a sweat. I might not be, it's a little cold here in the mountains where I am, but when I teach these classes from my home in Denver, I usually do get like a little flow class. If for some reason we get going in this class and it's a little bit too challenging for you, or you would like to share the gift of yoga and spirituality with someone who maybe can't do some of these movements, on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. Colorado time, I have a Gentle Restorative class. So there's a couple of different options there. But this class is definitely going to be a movement-based class once we have the people that are here that are joining. Hi Carol, hi Katie, hi Kimberly, hi Claudia, hi Melissa. Thank you guys so much for being here. So I was thinking about what I wanted to share as a theme today, and I woke up and was kind of rushing through my morning, and I didn't have a chance to drop in with my spiritual practice. And so I thought, wow, what to share with the world what I've been using as a spiritual practice, especially in this kind of like strange time. And I know I'm in a little bit of a unique situation here where I am splitting my time between a couple of different spaces. And so when I'm at home, it's really easy to wake up and I get my tea and I go watch the sunrise and I have my spiritual practice, or I go into my healing room and do a meditation. But when I'm staying at a friend, we've all been kind of quarantined together. It's been challenging to still find that grounding space in the morning. So I created like a traveling altar, and I'm just going to share that with you guys, and then we'll get started. So this is what I created, is just a little pouch that I can grab, and I can take it to the sunrise when I'm in Denver, because there's a beautiful hill behind my house where I can watch the sunrise, or I can take it with me when I go to the mountains if I'm staying at a friend's house. And then in addition to that, I have my journal, which everybody should have a journal that they write in. If you don't and you're not really sure what to write about, send me a message. Let's get a conversation started. Spiritual books. So right now I'm reading Living Without Fear by Ernest Holmes. So I have little like affirmation notes as my bookmarks here. And then within this package, I have my angel cards, which are just cards that have a word on them. I used to bring these to my yoga classes every time I taught, and my students could each pick a word and have it at the top of their mat if they didn't have an intention. And I lost these for a long time, but they just came back into my life. So I'm going to show these to you when we get to the end of this little demo here. I have my rose water here. This is kind of a nice way to set sacred space and just shift the vibe. And then once I get inside of this pouch, so this is set up so that I can unroll it even when I'm outside, and have like a traveling altar and also a place to sit. So it's like a picnic blanket for spiritual practice. And when I think of spiritual practice, I think of a couple of different things. I just think of setting the space, like what makes a spiritual practice, because I feel like I could do this in a train station, and it would still be sacred. And so that's where, maybe you've heard about like the witchy thing of drawing a circle in the sand, right? It's just setting the sacred space. So that's why I have that blanket. And then I've got my traveling altar here. And I have a few crystals that I really like. These have been with me through a number of experiences, and I like them for their decorative aspect. I have a marble toad here that I charged up at Los Sapos in Guatemala. A reishi mushroom to connect me with the fungus kingdom. An osha root to connect me with the roots of this land here in Colorado. I have a piece of amber that my teacher Amrak gave to me, and I feel like it's infused with her energy. I think of it every time I put it out. I have a piece of chalcedony or chalcedony, and this is a white stone that I found at a beautiful spring in Arizona. You'd never believe, in the middle of the desert, these amazing springs that they have, where they had two great horned owls watching over the spring, and these beautiful white crystals just coming up out of the earth. And I'm very connected with the springs. I spent my whole life visiting springs and connecting with them, so this reminds me of the springs. I have a piece of, I think this is black tourmaline. Someone maybe can let me know. But I know when I got this stone, it was to protect against EMFs and just absorb any negative energy. And then I got this from Gary Fisher, but it's this beautiful crystal that has these windows in it, and I've used it in a lot of meditation practices on my third eye. It's pretty charged up. And then this is a piece of blue obsidian. And I'm really connected with this color blue, so I chose that. And these will change out periodically. And then I have a piece of Palo Santo and a lighter. And again, this is like just in an effort to create sacred space. Sometimes you'll notice if you don't have time to roll out the whole mat, you can just light a candle or light a match, or even just closing your eyes and visualizing yourself taking up a little bit more space than you usually do outside of your body, really filling up your personal bubble of sacred space. And so I like the Palo Santo to kind of set the mood. And there you have it. And this is something I can bring anywhere. I can bring it outside. I can be in a park. I can sit down. Have my little memory triggers to call in different things. And when I think of spiritual practice, I think of two things. I think of prayer, which is a word that I shied away from for a long time. But really, this is the place where you get to ask. And this might be your intention. This might be visualizing this future that you're creating. I talk a lot about manifestation. So this is where you can start to visualize something that you want in the future, but feel it in your body now. You create these chemicals in your body that actually make you a magnet to draw those experiences towards yourself. And so prayer and intention setting is one part of it. And then meditation and listening is the second part. So this is a chance, after you've kind of asked for what you want and started to feel it within your body, then it's going into the receiving mode. And it's just closing the eyes. It's receiving all the feel-good feelings that came up when you thought about your teacher and this beautiful experience at the spring and the time in Honduras and connecting with the earth. And it's like creates all these good feelings. And then you're thinking about, the house that you want to have one day, or the relationship, or the job, or just maybe you're just thinking about a feeling you want to have more of. And then once these chemicals start being produced in your body, these feel-good chemicals, then you have an opportunity to just receive them, to breathe them into every single cell of your entire body. And this is where inspiration and information can often come to you, when you allow yourself to sit and be quiet and contemplate. And you might get like really clear instructions, you know. Words might come into your mind, or maybe it's an action you want to take in your business, or someone from your past that you want to give a phone call to. And so that's why I like to have the journal, so when I come out of meditation, I can write down what I received, what has come in. And then once I've completed my spiritual practice, I go through the whole process of closing it back up. I'm not going to do that today because I'm going to treat this whole experience of my yoga practice as a spiritual practice. But I am going to show you guys these. Or I think you could make your own, would be a fun project for those of you that are kind of crafty. But they're just these tiny little cards, and they each have different words on them. So what you can do is have this, I used to have it in a bowl, but right now I have it in just a cute little bag. And we're just going to pick an intention for the group for the class today. So I'll ask you all to just close your eyes and set your sacred space. Even without all this stuff, you can just set your sacred space by allowing your energy to fill your space or to fill the room. Take a moment to connect with me and my sacred space and these sacred items so that you can receive the benefits of them as well, and just breathe them in, feel that receiving. Feel yourself connecting with all the other beautiful beings that are practicing with us today, that are dropping in on this recording in the future. Recognizing that we are still connected, we are still community, even though we are in our separate spaces. And connecting with the angel cards. That the card I pull will be the perfect thing for each of us to hear in the exact perfect moment that we hear it. Now's a beautiful time to set any other intentions that you have for the class, for your day. Oh my goodness. The card that I pulled today is the one blank one. So truly, truly, Spirit is telling us that we each get to write our own story. That all of us get to set our own intentions. I love that. Well, with that said, we're going to go ahead and get started with the yoga portion of the practice. Thank you guys for sticking with me and just exploring what this offering is and how I like to create my sacred space. So go ahead and find your comfortable seat. Sit up nice and tall. Let the hands rest on the knees, either palms face down to feel more grounded, or palms face up to feel more energized through the practice. I'm going to go for grounded today. And just start to take some deep cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. You'll notice I like to make a lot of sound, see how that feels for you. This is a cleansing breath, so just letting go of anything from the past. Just any thoughts, any energies that don't need to come with us on this journey. And letting go of anything from the future, any thoughts, any worries, any anxieties, just let them go. Even letting go of those intentions we just set. You maybe heard people say that before, you set your intention and then you let it go. Even in more structured forms of spirituality. Some people say let go and let God, right? Yeah. And just come into the present moment. Feel the gravity of the earth. Feel the air on your skin. Feel the breath as it enters your body. And feel your breath as it exits the body. You might notice a temperature change. It's one of the simplest techniques to drop into the present moment by connecting with that breath. And allow yourself to set your intention here in this sacred space that you just created. Full embodiment, totally dropped in. And once you have, please bring the palms to press together at heart center. Thumbs into the chest and fingers spread wide. Shoulders over the hips, so allow your abdominals to engage just a little bit as you sit up nice and tall. We'll begin the practice with 2 cleansing breaths and 1 Om, with this Om intended to fill your space, to cleanse your space and set the sacred space that you've created for yourself today. In through the nose, out through the mouth. This time sigh. This time Om. With the eyes closed, begin to rub the hands together, create a little bit of heat and friction with the hands. And place the hands over the eyes. Soften the face and smile. And when you're ready, flutter the eyes open and float the hands down. Let's come into the tabletop position. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to undulate the spine. I did this a couple of weeks ago, so I won't spend too much time on it. But basically, first we'll just tip just the tailbone. Notice the head and shoulders stay steady. And then holding the tailbone and the head steady, we're just going to lift and lower the shoulders. And then holding the tailbone and the shoulders steady, we're going to lift and tuck the chin. And then when we put it together, it's going to look something like this. Tuck the tailbone, lift the back of the heart, then tuck the chin for cat. And on your inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the heart, then lift the chin. So the spine moves like a wave. Exhale, rolling through into cat. And inhale, rolling through into cow. And just find your own rhythm here. If yours doesn't look exactly like mine, that's to be expected. We are different human beings with different bodies. And just rolling through a few cat-cows. Waking up the body, waking up the breath. Maybe you seal the lips and take Ujjayi breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's do 3 more. There's still sound in the back of the throat. On the exhale and Ujjayi breath. 2 more. I like to think of it as that sound where you would fog up a mirror, but with the lips closed, you're holding that heat in. Creating some internal heat for a safe practice. Last one. on back to center. Inhale, left arm reaches up towards the sky. And exhale, thread it through. Left shoulder comes to the earth. Left ear comes to the earth, or a pillow or block if you have one. Draw the hips back to square and tiptoe the right fingers forward. Press the right armpit towards the left elbow and take a few deep breaths here. Open up the shoulders. That Ujjayi breath where you seal the lips and hold some of the heat in is really useful. But if you find yourself coming across any tension, any physical, mental, or emotional tension, feel free to just take a sigh with the open mouth to release whatever you need to release. 2 more deep breaths. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. And slowly tiptoe that right hand back by the face. Press down to lift up, left arm up. And exhale, drop it down. Second side, inhale, right arm reaches. And exhale, thread it through, right shoulder to the earth. Right ear to the earth as well. And tiptoe the left arm forward. Press the left armpit towards the right elbow and pull the hips back to square and breathe. Think of sending the breath right where your body feels like it needs it. Taking some of the deepest breaths that you could possibly take. Full inhale and full exhale. 3 more here. 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. And slowly tiptoe the left hand back by the face. Press down to lift up. Right arm reaches all the way up. And exhale. Bring it back down to center. Let's walk the hands forward about 1.5 hand lengths. Hips towards the heels. We'll do 2 circles to the right. Inhale, hips to the right and forward. Exhale, left and back. 1 more. And 2 in the other direction. Last one. And when you're hips for downward facing dog. Flip in 1 knee at a time as you press 1 heel at a time towards the earth. Pedal it out. Notice my belly is hugged in strong. It's really going to help with any back stuff that you might have going on. 2 more. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. And when you're ready, walk the feet towards the hands. Grab opposite biceps, let the head hang. I like to really bend the knees a lot. I go into this in a lot of my classes. I developed quite a bit of back pain from traditional yoga with the straight legs, so I bend my knees in almost every posture these days. So see how that feels for you. You can grab opposite biceps and let the head hang. Make some circles with the head in one direction. Swaying side to side as one knee bends deeper, another one moves a little bit more towards straight. Open and close the jaw a couple of times to release the face. You can bounce, decompress the spine. 2 more deep breaths here. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Release the arms, squeeze the inner thighs, and lift. Come on up to a halfway lift. So again, bent knees will save your lower back. Belly hugs in, flat back. The hands can be just gently resting on the legs. This is a great way to start to activate the legs. Big inhale here. Exhale, slowly dive deep forward. Let's do 2 more. Big inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse a swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Beautiful. Inhale, reach it up, touch the palms overhead. And exhale, open the heart. Inhale, reach it up, touch the palms overhead. Exhale, soft knees, swan dive down. Inhale up to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into a high plank position. So belly hugs in, toes are tucked under, full extension through the heels. You can play around with coming up and down, so you can play around into that shoulder area just like we did before. I like a little side to side, just a little movement here. Maybe you can circle just to get those abs involved. If this is too challenging for you, come down to the knees. Just find your center. Find your ability to just move and flow here. One more big inhale. And exhale, very slowly lower all the way down to. Beautiful. I'm going to switch sides. Some of you know I've been teaching this class in a number of different spaces. I'm just learning about where I can fit and still have the camera see most of the demonstrations. So here we are, we're all on the earth. We'll inhale up to a low cobra. We're just getting warmed up here. And exhale, lower down. A couple more just like that. If anyone's just joining us, we're just getting started. Feel free to jump in at any time. Every inhale lifts. And every exhale lowers. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Inhale up through tabletop. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up towards the sky. And exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale, knee to the left elbow. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale to the right. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale, step it through. We're going to go ahead and start here high. So if this is too challenging for you, you can come down to the knees. But if you're feeling up for it, ground into the feet, micro bend in that back knee, and slowly come on up. Crescent pose, crescent lunge for 3. You might find a little bounce. That's a great way to find some activation. 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale, float the hands down. Step back, high plank position. Inhale, stay high or come to the knees. And exhale, lower, slowly down. This time, keeping the hands planted, you can start to come up a little bit higher. So it'd be like a medium cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale. You might roll up all the way into your high cobra. And exhale, lower. 2 more. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Inhale through tabletop or high plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up and back. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, reach it up and back. Exhale to the right elbow. Inhale, reach. And exhale to the left. Inhale, reach it up and back. Exhale, step it through. So if the toes don't come up in line with the fingertips, you'll lower to the back knee, shimmy those left toes forward, and then straighten that back leg. Again, you can always come down to that back knee if you choose. And when you're ready, come on up. Crescent pose here. Maybe find a little bit of a bounce. For 3. 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Pause here for an inhale. Sometimes we get an extra one. And on an exhale, lower it down. Come on back. High plank position. Inhale, stay high or come to the knees. And exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Inhale up. Find your cobra, whatever that is. What's feeling good to you in your body today? You're going to look over your right shoulder towards your right foot. Breathe into that stretch. And inhale back up through center. And exhale, look over the left shoulder towards the left foot. Breathe into that stretch. And come on back to center. So you're welcome to continue as we move through our vinyasas, finding your way to the floor, inhaling up, exhaling down, going up through tabletop or high plank. Or we might move through a vinyasa. And in a vinyasa, you're going to eventually come to up dog. So up dog, the tops of the feet are on the earth and the hands, but the legs are not. So this is nice and lifted. Big inhale. And exhale, you're going to roll up and over the toes into downward facing dog. If that's too challenging for you, just stick with lowering all the way to the earth. So we'll play around with those vinyasas. Let's go ahead and do it right now. So rolling forward into your high plank. Inhale, stay high or come to the knees. Exhale, lower halfway down for chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. So that's what the vinyasa is going to look like. Again, if that's not within your practice, just come all the way down to the ground. Shoot me a message. We can do a one-on-one and go over some of the key points there. All right, inhale, bend the knees and look at the hands. Exhale, top of the mat. You can always just step or hop. Inhale up to a halfway lift. Exhale, dive deep forward fold, soft knees. Inhale, reach it up, touch the palms overhead. And exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, open the heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale up to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back to a high plank position. And flow through whatever variation of vinyasa, earth, that feels good to you. Downward facing dog, we'll meet here. Let's take a nice big sigh, big inhale. And exhale. Inhale, right leg reaches. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, reach it up. Knee to the left elbow. Inhale, reach. And exhale, knee to the right. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, step it through. Inhale up through crescent. So we're gonna do some balancing poses today. So I want you to start to rock forward and back, woo, side to side. Find your balance here and get a little spring in your step, just like we did before. And when you're ready, you're going to shift your weight onto your right foot and bring the left knee up. Hands to the heart is a great way to just find your strong balance here and breathe. For 3, 2, last one, big inhale, and exhale, start to tip forward and step it back. Nice work. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, blossom open into a warrior 2. So for warrior 2, the right heel lines up with the inside of the left arch. Right knee stacked directly over right ankle. And the hips and the shoulders are in line. Arms reach out, forward and backwards. Gaze is over that right middle finger. That's your drishti, that's your focus. I often think of this pose, we're training our body just as much as we're training our mind. So while you start to feel into your own strength, maybe sink a little bit deeper into your legs, also find the strength of your mental focus. Can you stay focused even when things are happening all around you? Can you stay focused on your dreams and your intentions even when the world is changing and shifting in ways we never even dreamed? Can you stay focused on that right middle finger even though there's so much else to look at? 3 more deep breaths, breathing into your intention. 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. You're going to take a reverse warrior, so left hand floats down to the left leg, right arm reaches up and back. A lot of people do look up towards that right hand. I prefer to look down towards the left foot. Totally up to you. 2 deep breaths. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Inhale up through warrior 2. Exhale, windmill down, right hand, left hand. Flow through whatever variation of vinyasa feels good to you. And meet in downward facing dog. Sigh it out with me here. Big inhale. And exhale. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to the nose. Inhale, reach it up and back. Exhale, knee to the right elbow. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale, knee to the left. Inhale, reach. And exhale, step it through. Inhale up through crescent. And get steady here, get bouncy here. Get planted into that left foot. Ooh, my mat's sliding around. You know where we're going to go with this when you're ready. Launching onto the left foot. Woo! Hug that right knee in. Bring the hands to heart center. Just start to find your balance here. Let's do one more full breath cycle. Beautiful. When you're ready, inhale here. And exhale, slowly step it back. Inhale up through crescent. Exhale, blossom open, warrior 2. So that left heel aligns with the center of the arch on the right foot. Knees stack. Shoulders and hips are aligned. And bringing the arms level. Gaze is over that left middle finger. Come back to your intention. Find that you are so strong in your body as you sink a little bit deeper. Find that you are so strong in your mind as you keep your focus just off the tip of that left middle finger and keeping the focus of your heart on your intention. 3 more deep breaths here. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Inhale up through reverse. Again, you can look up. This is different. When you look up, the shoulders square, and it's a big stretch through the front body. When you look down, it's a stretch through the side body. So just decide what works for you. A couple deep breaths here. One more. Inhale up through warrior two. And exhale, windmill down, step it back, flow through your vinyasa. And we'll meet through downward facing dog. And please find child's pose. First child's pose of the day. First child's pose of the class, for sure. And just notice how it feels to surrender. It's kind of like that moment in the spiritual practice where you set your intentions and then you just surrender into receiving mode. Allow yourself to drop into receiving mode here for 4 deep breaths. 3. 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale up through tabletop position. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees and look at the hands. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Keep the hips low, arms reach up for chair pose, and breathe. Shifting the weight onto the right foot. Find your little bounce. I always like to bounce in these balancing poses. Shifting the weight onto the right foot, you're going to lift the left foot up and wrap it around the right. So maybe the toes find the earth below you for a kickstand. Maybe that left foot wraps behind the body, but keep the knees at the heart line here. You can bring the hands down to heart center, or inhale, reaching the arms wide to a T. Exhale, right arm under left arm. So you can either just press the backs of the palms together, or you can find the full wrap, palm to palm, and breathe. Eagle pose for 3, 2, and 1. Big inhale. Hold for the exhale. As you unwind the arms and the legs, start to inhale, reach it out through shooting star, and exhale, bring it down, hands to the heart center. So I realize I don't have quite as much room in the space that I'm recording in today to actually show that whole pose. Let's see if this is probably going to be a lot better. Should have done that sooner. All right, when you're ready, chair pose. Second side. So find your little bounce. And when you're ready, shifting the weight onto the left foot, right leg lifts up and over. Maybe you have the toe as a kickstand. Maybe you wrap the foot all the way behind the leg. Hands to heart center. Bring those knees back to center. Stay here, or when you're ready, inhale, reaching the arms wide. Exhale, left arm underneath right. You can either backs the palms together or wrap all the way around palm to palm. Elbows high, hips low for 3, 2. Of course, breaths, not seconds, right? Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Inhale, unwind through shooting star. And exhale, bring it down. Inhale, reach it up, touch the palms overhead. Exhale, open the heart. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, down. Inhale up to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back. As you flow through a vinyasa, if you're looking through for a challenge, of course you can always lower all the way to the earth, just like we did before. You can go right to downward facing dog. But if you're looking for a challenge, try hopping back directly to chaturanga. And inhale through up dog. And exhale through downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, step it through. Inhale up for crescent. So we've been here before. We have an idea of where we're going with this. Become spring-loaded. Become ready to launch into your future, right? Be ready to receive those intentions that you set in spiritual practice. Big inhale. And exhale. Come on up. Hands can come to the heart. It's a great way to stabilize as you find your wrap. On an inhale, bring the arms out to a T. And exhale, find your wrap with your hands. Sit the hips low, belly strong, elbows high, gaze forward. 2 deep breaths. Last one, big inhale. Hold for the exhale. Keep the belly strong. Keep the arms as they are. Unwind this left leg and start to bring it back as the upper body tips forward. Finding eagle arm, warrior 3 for 3, 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale, step it back. Inhale up for crescent with eagle arms. Warrior 2. Inhale through reverse. And exhale, flow through your vinyasa. You can always skip it and come right to downward facing dog. You can also take ekapada or 1 foot lifted. And meeting in downward facing dog. Second side, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale to the right. And inhale, reach. And exhale to the left. Inhale, reach it up and back. And exhale, step it through. Inhale up for crescent. Find your levity, your buoyancy. You're ready to launch into your future. And when you're ready, launching forward, hands to the heart. The right leg wraps around left. You can always use that kickstand or the full wrap. Inhale, arms out to a T. Exhale, left arm under right. Hips low, elbows high, gaze forward, 2 deep breaths. Belly strong. Beautiful. When you're ready, very slowly start to unwind that right leg and send it back. Tip the upper body forward. Keep the hips square, feet active, elbows still lifting, 2 deep breaths. One more big inhale. Hold for the exhale. Let's take one more inhale here. And on an exhale, step it back. Inhale up through crescent with eagle arms. Exhale, unwind, warrior 2. Inhale through reversed. Exhale, windmill down. Again, you can go right to down dog, or you can try 1 foot lifted through chaturanga. Rolling up through downward facing dog. And please find child's pose. So in yoga, just like in life, we balance this being active with being still. Just like in the spiritual practice, we balance our intentions and our prayers with our quiet and our listening. Notice my palms are facing up. I like to switch it up between palms down and palms up in my child's pose. 4 deep breaths here. Big inhales. And exhale. 3. 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Slowly flip the palms back over if they're facing up. Inhale up through tabletop. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees and look at the hands. Exhale, top of the mat. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, dive deep. Inhale, reverse your swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. So we're going to move through another round of vinyasa to get into some of our stretches here. So bear with me, we're getting close. When you're ready, inhale, reach it up. And exhale, open the heart. Inhale, reach. And exhale, swan dive down. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, go right to down dog or flow through your vinyasa. Let's take a big sigh here in downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up towards the sky. And exhale, bring the right knee towards the right wrist and the right foot towards the left wrist. Release to the left knee, uncurl the left toes. So we're coming into a pigeon pose here. We're going to take it a little bit further for those of you that are open and available to this. For those of you that this feels like a lot, let this be your intention. Let yourself visualize getting here. So if this is too much, those of you that are here, please hold here. You have an option to come into figure 4 on your back with the right leg over and grabbing the back of the left leg. So it's the same stretch but without the body weight component. For those of you that are in pigeon pose, I want you to stay high, to stay that levity. I'll give you a couple of different levels here. So there's that little bounce, that lifting, that getting ready to launch that can happen. So maybe the fingers just barely come off the ground. Maybe the hands to the heart. Or if you're feeling it, we're going to inhale, reach the arms wide, and exhale, eagle arms. And slowly lifting the elbows up, gaze up as well. For 2. 1 more. Beautiful. Inhale, release. And exhale, let the hands find the earth. Now we come into sleeping pigeon, down on the forearms. I like to rock a lot in my body. It just feels really good to me. I know it's non-traditional when it comes to traditional yoga, but you know, explore, see how it feels to you. If it feels good to rock a little bit in this stretch. Now you're welcome to place your head on a block or bring the elbows wide and place your forehead on 2 stacked fists or 2 stacked hands, or maybe forehead to the floor. But I'll ask you to find some way of making contact with the third eye into something. This activates your body's parasympathetic nervous system. I also feel that it activates my third eye, and today we're talking about spiritual practice. So just think about opening up your inner ability to see beyond what is on the surface of what your physical eyes can see. So your spiritual sight or insight. 4 deep breaths here. 3. 2. Last one, big and exhale. Slowly begin to lift up. Plant the hands as if you were going into the down dog. Goes under, straighten that back leg. And lift the heart just like we did in our cat pose as you press up and back. You can stack the hips, bend into the right knee, roll out the right ankle in both directions. This is three-legged dog. Notice the shoulders want to shift. A good way to counteract that is to look underneath the left shoulder. You can also make a big circle in both directions with that right knee. And on your inhale, right leg reaches straight up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Second side, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left knee to the left wrist, left foot to the right wrist. So pigeon pose. For those of you that are available here, please stay here. If not, I'll demo it one more time. You're going to come onto the back, left ankle on right knee, and then reach through and grab a hold of the right hamstring. Same stretch, but just a little bit more accessible if you're just getting into this stuff. So for those of you that are in pigeon pose, pause here. See if you can find that little bit of lift. Maybe just the fingertips lift, maybe the hands. Maybe inhale, reach the arms wide. Exhale, left arm under right, eagle arms. And elbows high. Take a couple of deep breaths here. This is prepping for king pigeon. We're not going to go there today. One more. Beautiful. Inhale, release. And exhale, come on down. So again, before we find our way into our stillness, you might like a little bit of rocking here, if that feels good to you. And then start to find your way so that the center of the forehead is touching on something. So 2 stacked fists or 2 stacked hands, elbows wide or forehead to the earth. Focus on activating your body's parasympathetic nervous system, relaxation response. Focus on opening that third eye, your insight, your spiritual sight. 4 breaths. 3. 2. Last one, big inhale. And exhale. Slowly start to come up onto the hands. Plant the hands as if you're coming into downward facing dog. Curl the right toes under. Straighten that right leg. Lift up through the back of the heart. And send that left leg back. Stack the hips as you bend into the left knee. You can roll out the left ankle. Both directions. Look under the right armpit to square the shoulders. You can circle that left knee in both directions. Inhale, left leg lifts up towards the sky. Exhale, come on down. We're going to hop through to seated. Inhale, bend the knees and look at the hands. And exhale, hop through to seated. I've got some messages from you guys. I'll answer those at the end of class. If you guys at the end of class can hang on just for these last, 10 minutes coming into our final Shavasana, I consider this the most important part. If for some reason you have to go, I understand, but send me a message. Let me know. There were 7 people that did this class with us today. I can't see who did unless you guys tell me, but don't do it right now. You can do it after Shavasana. All right, so find your way all the way onto the back. Hug the knees in. You can rock side to side. Make some circles with the knees in one direction. And some circles with the knees in the other direction. And let's find happy baby. So grab a hold of the outside edges of the feet. The knees pull down on either side of the body. And from here you can rock side to side. So for a lot of you, this will be where you'll stay. For some of us, you can extend one leg while you draw the opposite foot in as you rock side to side. And just feel into it. I kind of like that added inner thigh stretch. And then there's an option too to hook your first two fingers on the insides of your big toes and straighten your legs and rock side to side. We haven't done a lot of inner thigh stuff, so unless you're practicing yoga quite often, I wouldn't go too far into this one. And again, I love the bent knees, even though it's not as beautiful in pictures. It has saved my back to keep my knees bent. Couple more deep breaths here, and you can just take any kind of movements that feel good to you. So this is your opportunity to take any poses that we haven't done yet, that your body's calling for. Any just gentle rocking motions, and we're going to find our way into our final Shavasana. So get any of those last movements out of the way. If you have a blanket to put on your body, please do so. It's really dirty. It's just nice, even if you just have something to cover up the belly here, the torso. And just find your way flat on your. If you have any knee pain, you can put your feet up on a chair or a couch, or I can show you guys what I like to do if I have any back pain is I'll use a bolster, which you can order these online or send me a message and I can tell you what to look for. And you can bring a bolster under the knees for final Shavasana. So let's do the same thing we did in the beginning of class. So we're going to do palms face up, wide of the hips if you're looking to receive more energy at this time, and palms face down on the belly if you're looking to feel more grounded through the practice. Get any last wiggles and jiggles out of the way, and allow yourself to just completely melt. Typically during this final Shavasana, I guide us through a full body relaxation. So if you're curious about that, check out one of my other videos. But today, in an effort to tap into this spiritual practice that we've been talking about, I'm just going to give us about 3 minutes to listen, to be in that meditative state, to listen to any messages that want to come to you or through you. If your mind wanders, come back to that breath where you feel the temperature of the breath as it enters the body. Breathing in and out through the nose, and feel the temperature as it exits. You'll notice that slight raise in the temperature, and that's just a way to come back to your presence in the present moment if you start to get lost in your thoughts. So just about 3 minutes here, and breathe. And listen, and receive. halfway there. Slowly begin to integrate once again the body, the mind, and the spiritual. With some deep breaths, start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. You can touch the thumb to each finger. You can circle the wrists and the ankles. Move the head from side to side. Reach the arms up above and the feet down below. Take a full body stretch. Big inhale. And exhale, soften. Bend one knee at a time and bring the feet in and roll through the fetal position. Allow yourself a moment to rest in the fetal position, almost feeling like this moment is a reawakening or a rebirth. I often think about this fetal position, that we come to this position just before we're born and just before we get out of bed in the morning. And just before we restart our day, we restart our life after a yoga practice. When you're ready, gently press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Find your comfortable seat. We're not going to be here too long, but make sure you're comfortable. I'm going to put my warmth back on. Sit up nice and tall. Bring the palms to press together at heart center. Come back to your intentions. And just recognizing that spiritual practice can be anywhere. Yoga might be a spiritual practice for you. Maybe you're inspired to make an altar like I showed in the beginning of the class. But it really can be as simple as just closing your eyes, breathing into your energetic space, creating space outside of your body, setting your intention, asking for what you need, and then allowing yourself to drop into the receiving mode. Thank you so much for traveling on this journey with me today. We'll seal our practice and seal our space with 2 cleansing breaths and 1 Om in through the nose and out through the mouth. This time sigh. This time Om. comes to the heart, lips, and forehead reminds us to keep this energy, this feeling, to keep it in our hearts, in our words, and in our thoughts. As we bow, it is to all beings. That spiritual energy and life force within me honors the spiritual energy and life force within each of you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me. Drop me a message if you did the whole class with me. I'm so excited to see who I was practicing with today. If you guys have any questions, please send me a message if you're interested in practicing one-on-one with me or diving into some coaching. I love to teach people the manifestation magic. Some people have called me a manifestation muse, and I love to just share that magic. And then I'm just going to share a picture of my altar so you guys can see it, because I'm not sure you could see it from that angle. Oops. But I just have it set up here, and normally, you know, this portion is rolled out, so I have a nice place to sit when I'm in the park. And I'd be happy to help you guys make your own altar if you're interested. So send me a message, and you know, any and all donations that are made through Venmo or PayPal are very, very much appreciated during this time. But if you can't make a financial contribution, I totally understand. Send me a prayer or blessing, or share this video, and keep an eye out for, I'm working on my next fear beyond the Facebook Live, which is sharing some of these classes on YouTube. So feel free to share them with anyone in your life. And I'll be back Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. for this flow class, and Tuesday, Thursday, 3 p.m. for restorative. And that's all Mountain Standard Time. So hopefully I'll see you again. I love you guys so much. Thanks so much.